You think in a large degree because of the support that you have, that you were able to say, I've been doing this a while, I'm going to make that shift. How do you think those relationships have actually helped you in terms of you making that switch?
They 100% helped me.
Okay.
And I say that understanding that not everyone is going to have that kind of support, the support I have had and have now. So I'll say it in two ways. So the support I had was pivotal. I mean, they, like Ruth and Cam and Tariq and those folks, you and other people in my life have really pushed me to realize certain dreams. But there are also times when the Ruthans, the Yus, the Cams, the Tariqs didn't understand. And nothing that they could have done in their lives would have allowed them to understand where I was at certain points.
Okay.
So I had to ride it on my own.
Okay.
But it's because it's the trust that they put in me. They trusted that I was making the right decision for myself. So even if they didn't understand it, they didn't have to. They just knew that this dude is doing what he wants, and because we love him as family, we're going to support him. So, I say those two things that way because I realize that not everybody has that support.
Yes.
So you have to really find something inside of you that is not going to make sense to anybody. The scarier it is, the more possible it is. If that makes sense.
Love that. Love that.
Loving you, mothers and fathers, husbands and wives, sisters and brothers, friends for life, won't live in the past. All I wanna do now is making it last.
If you're anything like me, you know what it feels like to make a switch. You thought one thing was your passion and you found something else you loved. We're talking about finding your true passion here on the Making It Last podcast with Dominic Daly.
You think in a large degree because of the support that you have, that you were able to say, I've been doing this a while, I'm going to make that shift. How do you think those relationships have actually helped you in terms of you making that switch?
They 100% helped me.
Okay.
And I say that understanding that not everyone is going to have that kind of support, the support I have had and have now. So I'll say it in two ways. So the support I had was pivotal. I mean, they, like Ruth and Cam and Tariq and those folks, and other people in my life have really pushed me to realize certain dreams. But there are also times when the Ruthans, the Yus, the Cams, the Tariqs didn't understand. And nothing that they could have done in their lives would have allowed them to understand where I was at certain points.
Okay.
So I had to ride it on my own.
Okay.
But it's because it's the trust that they put in me. They trusted that I was making the right decision for myself. So even if they didn't understand it, they didn't have to. They just knew that this dude is doing what he wants, and because we love him as family, we're going to support him. So, I say those two things that way because I realize that not everybody has that support.
Yes.
So you have to really find something inside of you that is not going to make sense to anybody. The scarier it is, the more possible it is. If that makes sense.
Love that. Love that. How have you been able? Because of course, this is about. We talk about other things, but everything then points to relationships. Sure. How then do you think, or how have you fostered these relationships that have helped you to be you?
That's a challenging question for me because, and I'll answer it. Honestly, I've had many failed friendships.
Okay.
But I call them failed friendships because that's what they are. I'm not going to pretty it up. They failed.
Right.
But through those failures, I learned a lot about myself. And through those failures, I was able to go to those people who showed me that they were here for the ride. That this is who I am. These are the things that I'm coming with. You take it or you leave it. But I'm on this journey. You're free to join me. You're free to go. And those, I think, you don't have to say you're going to join me. You're actually going to show me, right? So those relationships, I think, now that I've lost a lot of people that I thought were going to be with me for the long haul. Some of them very painful. Some of them I've shed literal tears about. because they just don't see it coming.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah, but the ones that have stuck around, the ones who have dealt with me, have chosen to deal with me, I'm happy that they have, because they know everything about me, the total picture of me, and they're still here, you know, so I'm grateful.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because I think more often than not, a lot of people don't allow themselves to be open and vulnerable to people. And I've gotten to age is a beautiful thing, because I've gotten to a point where there are some things that if it is that I have to be almost on eggshells about sharing certain things, I recognize you're really not here for the right reason. So I understand what you're saying, and more often than not, some of our people believe that people should only see them when they're strong. Sure. So I'm hoping that somebody who will watch this and who will listen to this will recognize that you have to watch the signs and recognize that there are some people who are really only in your life for a season, reason, and a lifetime. And sometimes we really treat seasonal people like their lifetime, or those who are for a reason. That is when we actually end up getting hurt. Yep. Trust me. Now you've made the switch, and now you're doing this. You're an educator. Yeah. In the last several years that you've been doing, have there been any point you're saying, why did I do this?
Absolutely.
Okay.
When I got paid last week, you know, like, what am I doing?
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
It happens all the time.
Okay.
But it doesn't mean that I'm doing the wrong thing.
Good.
You know, I think people, that discomfort is what should kind of push you forward. If you're comfortable, you're in the wrong place. That's how I see life. Anything I do, work, school, church, home, whatever. If I'm comfortable, something's not right. Because I have to keep pushing myself forward, because no matter how old you are, you're never going to stop learning, right?
Yeah.
Did I answer your question?
Yeah, you did.
Okay, good.
You did.
Sorry, sometimes I just do this and I forget where we're going.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Here with Noreen Daly, talking about finding your true passion. Stick around, we'll be right back after a quick break.
I loving you, mothers and fathers, husbands and wives, sisters and brothers, friends for life, won't live in the past. All I wanna do now is making it last.
Langdo Language Institute was created to meet your language and communication needs. All of our packages were created just for you. We are passionate about language and dedicated to your success. We offer the CSEC English program, the Study Buddy program, the Get Ahead with English program, and the Business Communication program. Contact us at 767-285-0938 or email us at langdolanguage@gmail.com, because the real question is, how can we help you?
Does your business lack branding? Having difficulty realizing your vision? Look no further. Splinth Brand Design Consultancy specializes in developing personal and business brands. Services include strategic management, website creation, social media branding, and more. Visit them online at www.wearesplint.com. Splinth, the brand you need to succeed.
You can't live your best life without a healthy immune system. Boost your immune system the delicious way with Zappy's organic juices and punches. Made from local produce with zero added sugar, our juices cleanse and revitalize your body as they boost your natural immunity. Try our delicious flavors: Beat It, Berry Bomb, Get Fresh, Ton Up, and Island Splash. Find us on Instagram at Zappy's Organics, or call or send a WhatsApp message at 1-876-779-8910 to order today. That's 1-876-779-8910. Zappy's Organic Juices and Punches. Live your best life today.
I loving you, mothers and fathers, husbands and wives, sisters and brothers, friends for life, won't live in the past. All I wanna do now is making it last.
Welcome back. We're here with Noreen Daly talking about finding your true passion, part 2.
You've said a lot, but if it is that somebody's saying, because when you do different activities, I guess growing up and even in high school, because in high school I wanted to be a lawyer, but here we are. Somehow you never quite do what it is you thought you would do.
Sure.
What would you say to somebody who's saying, okay, I'm a senior, I'm about to graduate, I've been in this job for, let me do it in stages, let me not do it all at once. So I'm a senior, I'm about to graduate, I think this is what I want to do, but sometimes I feel like I should think of doing something else. What would you say to that person?
Nothing beats a trial than a failure. Try.
Okay.
Literally, the worst thing that can happen is you fail. And that's the beauty of life. Because you fail, you learn. If you don't learn from the mistake, then you're going to probably fail in the same way again. You don't want that, right? Mm-hmm. But try. When I was in undergrad here, I changed my major like 4 times.
Okay.
I was a computer science major. My daddy said, well, your brother do it, he's making money, so
try it.
And I failed pre-cal like 3 times. Yeah, and I couldn't do the junior and senior year, so I had no choice but to change. Mm-hmm. Went to education.
Yeah.
You just have to embrace the journey and embrace those failures, because that is the beauty of life. So that's what I'll say to those seniors.
Okay. So somebody who's been in a job 5-10 years, and there are moments they're like, yes, I like this. There are other moments they're like, I don't know. What would you say to that person?
Leave the job.
Okay. All right.
No, I'm serious.
Okay.
Leave.
Okay.
Because, we're in a time now, and with respect to our elders who loved those long service awards, we're in a time now where that just doesn't fly anymore.
Okay.
There are too many opportunities out there for you to sit in discomfort and not get up and try. Leave the job.
Okay.
I have a friend who, in the US, she's been working at this particular job for a good while. And she had a very mild heart attack, and she had to take some time off, so PTO, to go take care of herself. And when she came back to work, they had hired her replacement, put the replacement in a low position, and made her role redundant. She lost her job, and 6 months later, they moved that person into the role that she had 6 months prior. She gave everything to that job. I loved her through it, because she needed that support. But I think what she learned from that was, if you don't like something, no one can do anything about it but you.
Yeah.
Get up and go.
Yeah.
The worst thing that can happen is you probably end up on somebody's couch. I hope that doesn't happen to you.
Yeah.
But what's a couch for 3 months to get to your goal? I slept on my friend's floor for 4 months when I left Jamaica. I don't think I ever told my father that. Like, leave my good yard and go sleep on carpet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was all for a purpose, and it all paid. It's paying off. It hasn't finished. I don't think so. It's paying off. But if I didn't push through those moments where I was like, wow, I'm sleeping on someone's floor, I wouldn't be here right now.
Yeah. Last category, I'm going to use myself.
Okay.
So, I've been in education also maybe close to 30 years, I believe, and counting. Interestingly enough, it is a job that I said I'd never do. I'd prefer to sit at home and not work.
You're so good at it. Wow.
If it is that I said to myself, okay, I think I'm about to make a switch, or I think it's time to make a switch, what would you tell me?
There are so many things that we learn in our lifetime, right? So we're in a job for a while, and eventually, like, I really could do something else. There's so many skills that you would have learned over your time that you can take and apply it to a new situation. But you will only know if it works for you if you go and try.
Okay. Okay.
Seriously, I mean, I just, there are people who are sitting and, I'm sure there's folks out there who are sitting in dead-end jobs and there's no growth, there's no movement. Whether it's the pay scale or the hierarchy, there's just no movement, and you're desiring something more. Your loyalty to your boss is not going to change the situation.
Yep.
Right? Your loyalty to yourself will. So to the senior, to the all of those categories. Move.
Yeah.
Move. And I'm sorry, one more thing.
That's fine.
We're talking about relationships, and oftentimes, yes, relationships are, we have with other people, but what about the one with yourself? How do you sleep at night knowing that you aren't giving yourself the full opportunity to bloom and to prosper? That relationship with self is important. I've had this last year of my life has been absolute hell. My students even know, I tell them all the time, absolute hell. Because I realized that I lost a friend earlier this year. Traumatic. I mean, so many. I didn't know I had that many tears left in my body to cry. But that discomfort is what propelled me to realize that there are so many issues in my life that I had to address. Like dependency on people, abandonment issues. My mom died when I was 10, and she promised she wouldn't pass, and she did. As a 10-year-old, how would I know differently that she could stop it?
Yes.
So I trusted that.
Yes.
So I developed these dependency issues and abandonment issues and that kind of thing. But it wasn't until addressing those things that I started to see other parts of my life flourish, like other things. And now I trust myself more, and I trust my gut more. And had I not taken the chance on addressing those few things, I would not be feeling the way I feel today. I'm not 100% better yet, but I know that I'm on the right track because I'm taking care of the relationship with myself before I can touch anything else.
Love it. That was how I was about to end the whole idea of making sure that you self is key. This was Making It Last podcast, where it's all about helping us to have better relationships, not just with ourselves, but with other people. Until next time.
Mothers and fathers, husbands and wives, sisters and brothers, friends for life, won't live in the past. All I wanna do now is making it last.